Here's how you can use the clinical trial risk tool to create an itemized per patient budget for a clinical trial. The documents you typically need in order to calculate the cost of a clinical trial include the study protocol, or perhaps the synopsis if you do not have the protocol, the informed consent form, the clinical trial agreement or sponsor contract, any lab manuals or pharmacy manuals, the charge master or schedule of fees, and the sponsor's budget. If you have been tasked with the creation of a per subject budget and you have some or all of these documents, it can be a very time-consuming manual process to create the budget. I'm going to walk you through how you can use the clinical trial risk tool to create a budget. The most important part of the clinical trial protocol is the schedule of events. The schedule of events lists all procedures and assessments which will take place during the trial for the subjects. On the x-axis, it has the visit at which the event will take place, and the row headers list the name of every procedure. Typically, there is a letter X that denotes when an event will take place. If you have the schedule of events and it lists the procedures and when they will take place, you can look these events up in the charge master for the location where the trial will take place. These are often listed together with codes and costs. You may need to correctly understand whether you're dealing with a Medicare cost or a cost from a single payer system such as the NHS in the UK. And then you need to cross-reference these costs, look them up, and you can gradually fill out the cost of vital signs, lab procedures, blood draws, and so on, knowing the costs in your location. This process involves manually pulling out the tables from the PDF and retranscribing them into Excel. So let's have a look at how you could do this in the Clinical Trial Risk tool. I have my protocol here, and I have visited clinicaltrialrisk.org, and I'm going to click Try the Clinical Trial Risk tool. I can create an account or log in. And now I'm in the interface of the Clinical Trial Risk tool. I can upload my protocol. The tool will inform me of the progress in parsing the PDF. In this case, the PDF in question is 140 pages, and towards the end there will be a schedule of events which lists all the procedures that will take place, and the schedule of events will be key to finding the cost of the trial and building the site budget. Rather than doing this manually, let's wait for the tool to read the protocol and pull out the relevant information. We have an initial, very rough estimate of the cost. I can click Generate Itemized Budget, and on this screen I can choose my charge master. There are a number of charge masters which are already in the system, and I can also click Add New Charge Master and create, upload, or make my own charge master based on hospital costs. I'm going to use USD for the currency of my trial. I'm going to go to the next screen where the schedule of events will be found. We have one set of schedule of events here. There's a schedule of events for cohorts 1 or 2, cohort 3, cohort 4, and there's an appendix schedule of events as well. A total of 5 schedule of events have been identified in this protocol and extracted. In this case, the events are taking place not only at different days corresponding to different visits, but there are a number of hours, which means that there will be an inpatient stay with multiple events taking place during a single stay. Then also the screening procedures are listed here, and you have the procedure names here. If I scroll to the right in my schedule of events, I have the costs that have been looked up by my charge master. So if we have, let's say, documentation of HIV-1 status, then that is not an exact match for this item in the charge master, but there are some approximate matches which may enable me to pick an approximate value. I can also enter a custom cost value and edit the costs if I disagree with the costs that were in the charge master. I can also edit my charge master at this point. I will click Next, and then I can configure my indirect rate, which is the percentage value added on by the institution. My PI rate and my coordinator rate can also be configured. I will set my coordinator hourly rate to $120. Then I will click Generate Budget Excel. The file has now been created, and I can open it on my computer after downloading it. We have a total cost here, and if I click here, I can see the formula. You can see that the total cost is calculated by adding subtotals from different sheets, including my fixed costs, which are here, and a number of per subject cost sheets, which are all derived from separate schedules of events. The tool has inferred what the most likely fixed cost will be for this trial because we did not upload a sponsor contract. You can also see my per subject budgets. Each per subject budget was derived from a separate schedule of events which was found in the protocol by the tool. And the cost per patient is listed, and the total is here, and total values are down here. We have information about overnight stays. Some of these values may need to be adjusted manually since the protocol would not contain complete information about when an overnight stay will occur. We have here a bit of written instructions telling you what you may need to add. For example, the cost of medication would not have been included since that information is also not in the protocol.